Are you tired of struggling with image placement when sublimating 15-ounce Cricut mugs? Have I got the perfect solution for you? In this video, I'll show you the Canva template I created to take the guesswork out of sublimation. With this easy-to-use template, you'll achieve flawless designs every time. No more misaligned images, no more wasted blanks. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned pro, this tool will save you time and effort. Stick around to see how it works and how you can grab your copy today. Hey everyone, it's Lean from ColoradoLean.com. Welcome back to the Crafter. So after you download the mug template, you will receive this PDF. And to get to the file, go ahead and click right here. I am not sure which browser this is opening in, so I'm just going to copy the address and open up Google Chrome, which is my preferred browser. So we'll go ahead and use template for new design. Once your template opens in Canva, you will notice some dashed and dotted lines and two gray boxes. These boxes are the center point for each side of the 15-ounce Cricut mug. And this is where I want my single images to be placed. So before we get started, the very first thing I want you to do is to duplicate this page. That way you have one template that is brand new, and you can keep duplicating that for each design you want to make. So I do want to show you two different ways to use this template, so I will duplicate that again. And the first mug we're going to do, we will use these two images here. And I don't want these all the way up to the top of the template because of the text in the image. So I want to bring that down a little bit. And then I will drag this out to fill that space. And then I will do the same with our second image. Now I want to make sure these two images are lined up. So I will click on one, and then while holding the Shift key, I will click the second image. And then down here in this menu, I will click the three dots. Under Align Elements, you will see that it is aligned top, middle, and bottom. So the next thing I want to do is I want to group these together. And then I will come to Position, and I will center that in the middle of my template. And now we need to remove the pieces of the template that we no longer need. So I will right-click on my image, and under Layer, I will send that to the back. And then we will click off of the entire template so that when we come to the center of the template and click on it, that will remove the majority of the dashed lines as well as the gray boxes. And then we can just delete that. Now you'll notice that there is still a dashed line around the perimeter of the image. And I have set that up for myself as a cut line, especially for images with a white background. After I print this, I want to make sure I'm going to be able to cut it to the correct size. So let's go ahead and name our page. And then we will come down to our second template. So for our second image, I'm going to choose these cute little daisies. And this is going to completely fill the template. So I will drag this to the upper right-hand corner and just drag it out. Now with this particular image, it really increases everything. But if we double click on our image, then we're able to drag this wherever we want to see whatever part of this picture we want to see. So if we like this part, we can leave it there. Or if we wanted, say, the daisies on the bottom, we could do that. Or we could put it somewhere in the middle. I think I'm just going to use the very top of this image. So we'll go ahead and close out of that. We still have the entire template behind this. So we need to right click. And then from layer, we need to send this to the back. Again, we will click off of the template. And then we will move the entire thing and delete it. Now for this particular image, because there is so much color all the way around, I am not going to need my cutting guide. So I will go ahead and delete that as well. And then I will change the name. And now we will come up to share and download. And then we will select our pages. I will deselect everything and just choose page 2 and page 3. I will click done. This will save it as a PNG file. And then I will download it. Now that our image is downloaded, we will open the download folder and extract all. So I prefer to print my sublimation images from Microsoft Word. So the first thing I'm going to do is come to layout, and I'm going to change the orientation from portrait to landscape. And now I am going to manually move my margins all the way to the edge of the paper. There are two different ways that you can bring an image into Microsoft Word. You can come up to Insert, Picture, choose your device, and then your file. Or if you already have your folder open, then you can just drag it in. And before we can really do anything with this, we need to click on our image. On our layout options, we need to choose one of these 6 options. So I will choose tight, and then that gives me the opportunity to move this image anywhere on this page that I want to. Now we'll come up to picture format, and you'll see the size here came in at 9.47 inches by 4.25 inches. I don't know why exactly it changes the size, but the correct width for the template is 9.5 inches. So I will go ahead and change that. Now we are ready to print. So I will come up to File and Print. I will choose my sublimation printer, which is the Epson SureColor F170 printer. I will choose Print Properties. For this particular printer, I only have 2 paper types available, either a rigid or a textile. So I will choose rigid. My print quality, I will change to high. I will come over to more options and make sure that bidirectional printing is turned off. Another plus for this sublimation printer, it automatically mirrors the image for me, so I don't have to think about that. So I will press OK, and then I will hit print. Our mug image is all ready to go. And as you can see, we have this dotted line around the perimeter. This line should be, in reality, 4¼ inches tall by 9½ inches long. And we want to make sure we cut on the inside of that line. Now, because this is not a full image lengthwise, if we cut it a little bit short, that's fine. That's not going to make an issue. We do want to be careful when we're cutting the top and the bottom so that we don't accidentally get into our words. And we also want to be very careful to try not to touch the actual image with our fingers in case we have oil on them. So I am using my Fiskars 12-inch paper trimmer. I have a love-hate relationship with this thing, but it does have, and I'll try and zoom into this, it does have a guide wire that the blade will run along. So anything to the left of that guide wire will remain, and anything to the right of that guide wire will be cut off. So I'm going to just line it up in here, and I want to do my best to get all of that dash line removed without going too far into the image. That guide wire, or that dash line, is on this little piece of paper. And that is exactly what we want. I'm going to zoom in here as well because my paper is pulled all the way to the guide, but there is a difference in the amount of room between the guideline down here and the guideline up here. I believe that's because when the paper gets pulled in, and it is my Epson SureColor F170 sublimation printer is a bottom feed printer. So I think when it gets pulled in, it kind of jacks it a little bit so that it doesn't have a completely square printed image. So I'm going to, instead of doing that end first, I'm going to see what happens if I can just square this up here. Okay, and that kind of squared it up a little bit better. It might still be, yeah, I think that'll work. All right, and there is our cut image. All right, let's go ahead and get our 15-ounce Cricut mug ready to sublimate. Now I am going to be cleaning this with alcohol, so I am going to move my image as far away from possible because there is a very good chance I'm going to splatter alcohol all over the place. So I am just going to clean this with a lint-free rag. Today I'm using a coffee filter. And once I have this completely clean, I am going to do my best not to touch the mug. However, I am also going to use this to clean off my fingers, just in case. And I will bring in my lint roller. Because I have already cleaned this, I shouldn't have to use the lint roller, but I'm not going to take any chances. All right, so our mug is dry and clean. I have my heat-resistant tape that I picked up from Amazon on this amazing tape dispenser. And I will have all of this linked below. So the first thing I want to do is put a piece of anchor tape on the back of my image. And then that way, when I have it lined up completely, I can just tape it down. I'm going to be using my Vevor mug press today. And as with any press that you use with a mug, with a handle, there is going to be about 1/2 inch of space on either side of the handle that will not get the heat required to sublimate your image. So when I am lining this up, I want to do my best to have an equal amount of space on both sides. Oh, and that looks pretty good right there. So I will anchor this piece of tape, and then I am going to wrap this around tight. I need this to be as tight as possible. And I'm just going to come around like that. And then I will check again to make sure I have about the same amount of space on both sides. And it looks like I do. So I will press my tape down. And then I'm just going to add some more tape on here. And again, I am going to push the paper towards the tape before I anchor it down. Now, when I sublimate mugs, I typically don't tape the top or the bottom. I don't know if I want to do that for this or not because, and this might be kind of hard to see, but the words are just right at the very edge. So I'm going to leave it like this, and I'm going to jump off here real quick and get some butcher paper to wrap this up. I have a piece of butcher paper cut approximately to length. This doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to wrap around to protect my mug press. And you don't really need a whole lot of tape here on the butcher paper. And our mug is ready for the mug press. All right, our Vevor mug press is up to temperature. And when I put this in, I want to make sure I get the handle as centered in the opening as I possibly can. So I will slide that down. And now we wait until the indicator lights come all the way over here, and it will open automatically. Okay, I did not like how far over the handle was to this side, so I did stop the press and I recentered it, and then I closed it again, and now we will let it do its thing. All right, our mug is finished. Now, this is going to be extremely hot, but the handle stays relatively cool. I don't normally put a glove on when I take them out, but I'm kind of sitting at an odd angle here. So I will take that out and I will turn that off. And we will let our mug sit until it is cool enough to handle. So our mug has been sitting for a little while and has cooled off. It's not completely cold, but it is, I can hold my hand on it, and that's all right. So let's go ahead and start taking everything off. Start with the butcher paper. And it's always a good sign when you can see the image come through. Of course, this would be a good time to have longer fingernails, but you know. And as you can see, our image is perfectly centered on both sides. And there you have it. My Canva template made image placement for this 15-ounce Cricut mug effortless, and the result is flawless. No more guessing or misaligned designs, just perfect sublimation every time. Don't forget to grab your own copy of the template to make your mug projects even easier with the link in the description. If you liked this video and found the tutorial helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when I put up the next video. Until then, have a great day. Bye.